Welcome to the Real-Time Storytime by Robert R. Ricks. We will get this thing started pretty soon. What I need for you guys right now is just to hold tight. We need to allow people to show up because this show is nothing without the viewers. You see, I require keywords or phrases that you will give me, and I will craft a story based off these keywords. I have about 2.5 minutes to create the story. And then after I create the story, I have to see if I got all of the keywords in, at least 10 of them. We try to have at least 10 to 14 keywords, and I attempt to get all of them in, but if I can get at least 10, it's a good day. Now, I know you guys are going to have some really crazy ones. Now, I do need to warn any new viewers. The existing crew that comes here on a regular basis are filthy, nasty motherfuckers with foul language. If the language is going to be a problem, you might want to check out now, because these stories, 9 times out of 10, are extremely vulgar, sometimes violent, oftentimes very weird, and sometimes funny. Alright, we'll get this thing started pretty soon. Hang tight.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Angry Jackalope Rob Ricks. We are going to be doing our real-time story time, and we are going to be nice and structured. I've got this new little book that I'm using to track all of our stuff, and I have gone back and retroactively put in from previous stories so that, you know, we are keeping track and everything. And have already selected the first 4 stories that are going to have revisions to them. So we're going to have the ones that are going to have revisions that you guys will be able to hear standalone versions later will be Harry's Situation, which is a werewolf, Found and Lost Again, the vampiric one, the Spook Investigators, and the last one will be, I think it's Bronx Killer in the Woods. So those are going to be the ones that we're going to do. So what's up? Who we got in here right now? We got Brian, Backwoods, and Lyra. So I think we might be a little bit light tonight because I think I might inadvertently be competing with the final episode of Game of Thrones. Yikes. So, I don't know. Sterno Stove kit fired up. Okay, that's a very, very specific thing. So, Let's see. Let me get my pen out here. And as we often do, there will be a point where we see the keywords. So you're going to chat your keywords. You also will hear,
please submit your words now.
And then there'll be some music, and while the music and stuff is playing, that's where you guys will go ahead and submit your keywords. And it looks like it's just a few of us tonight, so you guys might have to double up on your keywords, and we might have to see what happens with that. Yeah, I think that's just gonna have to be it, because, like I said, I'm almost positive, it being 7 o'clock and later in different areas, I think people are going to be watching the Game of Thrones stuff. They're probably at Game of Thrones parties and things of that nature. So we will just go ahead and get this thing started.
Please submit your words now.
And then we got Brian already has one in here. Hey, what's up, Garen? All right, so today's date is May 19th, 05/1919. And we've already got some keywords in, so let's go ahead and start putting the words in. So we've got Sterno Stove kit fired up. Aboriginal Shaman. Aboriginal Slira. Wrecked. Taint. Oh, backwoods. Let's see. Pocket CERN Accelerator. Marlboro Cigarette. Honey. Honey Buns. Oh, you're gonna have to tell me what Manitou is. Manitou. Karen. Paula. Bless you. Pickle Weasel. Oh my god, do I even know what that is? The fuck is a Pickle Weasel? Pickle Weasel. You guys are hell bent on just wrecking me. Let's see, Pickle Weasel. That's backwards. And let's see. Oh, so the Manitou is a knife. It's a Bark River knife. This is a Bark River knife. All right, wifey's here too. You got a word, babe? You wanna throw one out?
No.
No? The Everglades. Okay. Everglades. Because I need one more. Oh, wait, never mind. Widowmaker. Brian.
Widowmaker. Do you know what a Widowmaker is? In medical terms?
It's a heart attack, isn't it? Alright.
It's a type of occlusion in what they call a Widowmaker because it's very unlikely you survive. But people have.
Neurolobe. Holy shit, guys. You guys, man. Okay. Sterno Stove kit fired up. Aboriginal Shaman. And then you guys throw in the Everglades. So I got Aboriginal Shaman in the fucking Everglades. How the fuck am...
10.
Huh?
But you only have 10.
Yeah, I have 10 total. But, so the first phrase was Sterno Stove kit fired up. Then Aboriginal Shaman. Wrecked Taint.
Gosh.
I know, right? Wrecked Taint. Pocket CERN Accelerator.
What?
Oh my god. Marlboro Cigarette.
Marlboro Cigarettes?
Yep. Marlboro Cigarette.
Is that one of the words you can't say?
Say it for me again.
Marlboro?
Marlboro? It's not Marlboro? Is it
Marlboro.
Marlboro? Am I saying it wrong? Fuck off. I'm asking a question. Don't laugh.
Say it again.
Marlboro.
That's enough.
Marlboro. Marlboro cigarette. You can tell I don't fucking smoke. Marlboro cigarette. Honey buns. Manitou. Manitou. 2. Manitou. I'm just gonna say Manitou. If that's fucking wrong, I'm sorry. It's fucking wrong. Pickle Weasel. Alright, what the fuck is a Pickle Weasel, guys? A Widowmaker is also a frozen limb falling on people. Yeah, that's the other one I know too.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, I knew that one. That's gonna be a little... Well, no. Okay. And then the Everglades and Widowmaker. But I need somebody to tell me what the fuck a Pickle Weasel is. Because I'm sure...
A weasel that's pickled.
the L is silent. Okay, so Marlboro.
Yeah, Marlboro.
Marlboro. Okay.
Marlboro.
Marlboro.
Don't say the L.
I didn't say the L. Marlboro. Marlboro. Fuck. Okay. Anyway, fuck. And then I need somebody to tell me, because I know that fucking Pickle Weasel is something else. I'm scared to look it up. You guys are fucked up. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up right now. I pray to God it's not something that's going to make me fucking blind. Pickle Weasel. Please don't make me blind. Please don't make me fucking blind. Please don't make me fucking blind. Oh, there's 70 shows. Eric Stash, The Circle, Pickle Weasel. Urban. Instead of fire, shout Pickle Weasel. When one is confused, Pickle Weasel is a term used as a substitute for an answer to a question. Is what it says. So Urban Dictionary says...
What do they mean?
Says, want to hear a funny word? Pickle Weasel. It's a sign of stupidity. Is what Kelsey said in the 70 show. I wonder if anyone ever looked this up. I don't know why anyone... I just was thinking at 70 shows, and Kelsey was saying, you know what a funny word is? Pickle Weasel.
I did see that episode.
Pickle Weasel. That is a funny word, though. Pickle Weasel. And then it says, a North American rodent found mostly in the lush grasslands feeds mainly on cucumbers pickled due to the intense acid rainfall that surrounds the habitat. When endangered, notorious weasel will make a noise sounding similar to shnikety. First debut big time, popular TV show, the 70 show. I stepped on a pickle weasel and it made a large schnicky. Okay. Completely random is shouted at endangered public safety. Instead of fire, shout Pickle Weasel. When one is confused, Pickle Weasel is a term used as a substitute for an answer to a question given to a teacher. Randomly shouts Pickle Weasel. What's the answer to number 2? Pickle Weasel. Okay. Okay. All right. We got understanding now of what the fuck Pickle Weasel is. Okay.
That's really hard to
Yeah, it's
That's
a
time consuming just to find that word.
Yeah, I know, but whatever. Sterno Stove, kit fired up. Aboriginal Shaman, wrecked Taint. Oh my fuck. Wrecked Taint. Pocket CERN Accelerator, Marlboro Cigarette, Honey Buns, Manitou, which is a knife, Pickle Weasel, the Everglades, and Widowmaker. Oh, fuck. Oh my fucking hell.
Daisy, what are you doing?
It says Pickle Weasel is a joke on green dicks. Back in the 80s, 90s, it was a joke about gang green dicks. Oh, God.
That's horrible.
Oh,
Have a
my
Pickle Weasel then.
God. Got a Pickle Weasel dick. Okay. Alright, so now I gotta figure out... Oh, fuck me. I gotta figure out a thing for it, so I'm just gonna randomly pick... I'll randomly pick this one. Alright. Okay. Okay. I think I have a loose one.
That's what he said.
That's what the taint
That's
said.
what she said.
That's what the wrecked taint said. Jesus Christ. Alright, so again, we've got Sterno Stove, kit fired up, Aboriginal Shaman, wrecked taint, pocket CERN Accelerator, Marlboro Cigarette, Marlboro Cigarette, Honey Buns, Manitou.
What's Manitou?
It's a type of knife from Bark River Knives. Pickle Weasel, the Everglades, and Widowmaker. Holy fuck. You guys, I swear to God. Swear to God. The shit you guys put me through. Okay. I even had kind of a loose idea what I was going to try to do tonight, but you guys derailed me first fucking words. the Sterno Stove kit fired up. All right. Hey, what's up, Bear? Okay, let's get this fucking story rocking and rolling. Let me make sure I got my names. I need to find a better place to position this. Give me 1 second. I'm going to move my coffee cup. And I'm going to put this over here, because I think it'll give me a better vantage point to see the words. You know I can hear that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm cleaning my...
You're going to get me copyright flagged like a motherfucker. Yeah, because... I know, but if it's words and stuff like that, and our sounds, fuck, it comes up on this thing and they go, copyright to Japanese company, blah, blah, blah. What's up, Vixen? All right, so here we go. Brian didn't mind the cool air, the little slight rainfall on him. He enjoyed being out in the wild, being part of nature. It allowed him to decompress and forget about all of the wear and tear and the running around and rigmarole of the daily life that he had been living. As part of research staff of Kerberos Corporation, he and his friends worked ridiculous hours. So when his best friend Jamie suggested that they go camping, he thought it was a brilliant idea. They brought their friend Josh. They brought their friend Josh along as well, and the three of them had started off early in the morning, 5 o'clock. They were heading down to the Everglades, and that was one of the locations that they were going to be camping in. And that made them happy, since most of the time they were always working. So the one time that their schedules all aligned up perfectly was kind of an omen that they should take the time out and go. They actually had 3 days to go and relax and do some good camping. Brian woke the other two up. Guys, are you seriously asleep? Jamie rubbed his eyes. Dude, you just don't know, man. I'm not used to being up this early. This is the time I normally would be going to bed. He nodded. He understood. They worked stupid hours. Sometimes they'd work 2 to 3 days late. So, Josh, did you happen to finish the experiment that you're working on? Yeah, I did, but it hasn't been tested yet, and I'm a little hesitant on testing it just because, you know, there could be some unforeseen ramifications of me using the device. The two nodded. Brian had been the lead engineer, and Jamie had been the theoretical scientist who had came up with some of the concepts that all three of them had worked on together. It was a top secret experiment. It was the U.S. government's version of the CERN Accelerator, much smaller. They nicknamed it the Pocket CERN Accelerator. And they were kind of hesitant about using it because they knew if they had their calculations incorrectly, it could rip the fabric of reality apart. They were already concerned that the actual mass spectrometer, that's me rewinding. The CERN Accelerator was already causing unforeseen effects that some on the internet were calling the Mandela effect. Oh man, I really don't know, guys. I mean, this thing, I don't even know why we did it in the first place. I mean, at first it sounded like a fun thing to do, a worthwhile challenge, but now that it's done, I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous. Jamie rubbed his eyes again, took out a Marlboro cigarette, lit it up, puffed on it, contemplating. Well, I mean, it is done. Not very many people know that it's actually working. I mean, we could always scrap it and not tell anybody. Yeah, that could work, but there are the notes. The notes are on the mainframe, and those are in the cloud. So there is no way we're ever going to get rid of that stuff. Josh nodded. Well, on other news, there's some things I kind of wanted to tell you guys, but it's been a long time coming, and I didn't really know if I should tell you or not. Brian nodded. Let me guess. You're going to tell us you're gay? He jokingly said. Jamie stared. wide-eyed. Wait, are you? Josh nodded. Well, I guess you guys kind of guessed. They both laughed, looking at each other. We kind of wondered, dude, for a while, because every time we'd go out, you would never, ever, ever holler at any of the chicks. But we did notice that whenever there was a bartender or there was a waiter or somebody, you struck up some really good conversations. Yeah, I guess. Brian shouldered Jamie. Dude, I wonder if he's got a wrecked taint. And they were like, laughed loudly. First, Josh was a little bit insulted and taken aback, but then after a few minutes he started to laugh too. I guess that's cool. Fuck. I should have told you guys a long time ago. Brian's like, damn fucking straight. How many times you seen my dick while we've been out pissing in the woods? I caught you a couple of times. I just thought you were fucking admiring my snake. He goes, yeah, whatever, dude. Your shit's not that impressive. He goes, yeah, it is. He goes, whatever. Hey, we need some more firewood. Let's go grab some from over there. Brian pulled his Manitou and pulled it from its sheath and went to help process the wood. They grabbed a few pieces from a nearby tree, and then as they got closer, Brian screamed out, whoa, stop, guys. Stop. Don't fuck around near that tree. Why? See that branch right there? You see how it's hanging? Yeah. My folks, we'd call those Widowmakers. That shit could fall and fuck you up. Go grab from the other tree over there. So they did. They went and grabbed some branches, some of the stuff that had fell on the ground, came back, started processing wood, broke it down into small kindlings and pieces. Meanwhile, Brian set up and got everything ready. Then he got his Sterno Stove kit fired up, and then they actually had a little bit of a fire, and they had the thing to prepare their coffee for the morning. As they sipped on the coffee and stuff and thought about it, they kept thinking about the pocket CERN Accelerator. I mean, really, what if we did try it? Jamie shook his head. I don't know, man. He took a bite of his honey buns. Man, it's like, if we screw up and something bad happens, I mean, that could change everything. I mean, everything. It could be such a bad thing. I don't know. I think we should leave it alone. Brian kept thinking about it. I don't know. What do you think, Josh? Josh is like, well, we do have it. We do know somebody is going to test it. What better than us? We invented the fucking thing. Jamie nodded. Fine. If you guys are hell-bent on trying it out, we could, but I don't know. I'm still scared. Everything's scary until you do it. Jamie nodded. He went to his backpack and pulled the device out. It was not very large. In fact, it was smaller than a loaf of bread. But it had an ominous glow about it. And there were several buttons and knobs and other things on there that anyone other than the three would be completely lost to the use of it. Jamie handed it over to Brian. Well, fucker, since you're the one that wants to do it so bad, I recommend you be the one to kick it up. That's fair. He placed it on his lap, and then he turned the first knob, pressed a button. It started to whine, and then it powered up, and there was a warbling sound. Is it supposed to fucking sound like that? Josh nodded. Yeah, I added in the audio to let us know as a warning that it was almost ready to trigger. Jamie paused for a moment. Guys, I really don't think this is a good idea. I think maybe we should... Before he could finish the sentence, Brian pressed the last button. The world went pyrotechnic. Everything strobed. Everything went black and white. Everything went dark. Then it went super bright. And then suddenly, they were back to what they felt was the reality around them. They looked at each other. Each one patted themselves down. Brian grabbed his dick. Okay, I think everything's fine, guys. Josh laughed. So you grabbing your dick and it being there lets you think that everything is okay? Yeah, it was sitting on my lap, and I did feel wild tingling down there. So I was a little nervous, you know. I wanted to make sure everything was okay. So I grabbed my dick. Is there a fucking problem with that? Nah, no problem. They started to look around. Everything appeared okay until they started to notice the temperature dropping. Dude, is it me or is it getting colder? They looked around. Dude, it's getting colder. They looked up at the sky. The clouds rolled in. It started to rain a little bit more. Yeah, maybe we should get up in the tent. Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. They had already made their tents, which was surrounding the campfire. But somebody's got to make sure to keep the fire going. So let's make sure we get enough wood because this looks to be a pretty nasty storm. They went and they grabbed more branches, more fuel from around them, all the while avoiding the tree that was the Widowmaker. They brought it back. They piled it up in front of their tents. Brian brought some of the wood into his tent to help weigh it down. He had a fear that the wind would kick up and take his tent and him with it. Sure enough, storm started to kick in, and it got really, really crazy. Snow started falling. Snow? Any fucking Everglades? This time of year? They looked at each other. Dude, we fucked up something, didn't we? I don't know. Brian started to ache a little bit. Dude, my dick feels funny. Really? Is it about your dick? Yeah, look, Jamie, I need you to look at my dick. I'd ask fucking Josh, but he'd get excited. I need you to look at it. Fine. Let's look. He pulled out his dick, and it was black. It looked like it was rotting. Dude, oh my fucking hell, you got Pickle Weasel. What? What the fuck is Pickle Weasel? Your dick, dude. It looks gangrene. It looks like that shit's gonna fucking fall off. Wait. Pull your pants the rest of the way down. Are you fucking serious? Just fucking do it. He dropped his pants. He could see the darkness from his penis was extending off to his hips. What the fuck, dude? Everywhere that the fucking little accelerator was sitting has affected your body. Let me see your hands. He turned his hands over. Sure enough, his palms were black. His fingertips were black. What the fuck do we do? What the fuck do we do? I don't know. Josh said, dude, do it again. Take the accelerator out. Reverse the parameters. Do the exact opposite of what we set it for originally. Yeah, that's a good idea. He sat down. They put the device on his lap. He flipped the knobs, turned it, changed the settings to the exact opposite of what he had before. Pressed a button. Again, everything strobed out, but it was almost the reverse of what they had seen previously. Suddenly, their eyes opened, and they could look around. But their friend, Jamie, wasn't sitting there. Instead, a different man was sitting there. But it looked like Jamie, but it wasn't quite Jamie. This man wore a big fur coat. He had odd markings on his face. They wondered, who the hell is this? And all at once Brian understood. Dude, it looks like one of those Aboriginal shamans. Holy fuck. What the fuck happened to Jamie? Josh shook his head. I don't know. But a bigger question is, what happened to the pocket CERN accelerator? They looked at the shaman. The shaman looked at them, sadness in his eyes. He shook his head. He had a stick with him. He marked something in the ground. He was trying to explain something to them. They could not understand his words. He tried to speak with them. He drew on the ground, and they looked, and they saw stick figures. And they're like, okay. And he saw that there were 3 stick figures. He pointed to the center one. Then he pointed to himself. Oh, okay, that's you. Okay, so those, they pointed to the other ones standing next to him, is us. He nodded. Then, further up on the ground, he drew a circle that seemed like there was fire on it. I'm like, okay, what's that? And then he drew a line from the circle with fire on it to them. They looked confused. They noticed outside the light was getting brighter. The Aboriginal Shaman had tears in his eyes as he shook his head. He pointed upwards. They stepped outside of the tent and looked up. What they saw dropped them to their knees immediately. A huge hurling meteor was coming down towards them. As it grew closer and brighter, they wondered, did they bring about the end of the world with their pocket CERN accelerator? They weren't sure. They saw the packet of Marlboro cigarettes on the ground, and even though neither one of them smoked, they took out a cigarette each, put it in their mouth, lit it up, and smoked the final cigarette before the end came. The end. So let's see, we got Sterno Stove kit fired up, Aboriginal Shaman, Taint, Pocket CERN Accelerator, Marlboro Cigarette, Honey Buns, Manitou, Pickle Weasel, the Everglades, and Widowmaker. Fuck. You guys, swear to God, these fucking words are redonkulous. So how much time did we do on that? We did 36 minutes. Whoop whoop. Yeah, that was rough. That was hard. That pulled a lot out of me to try to make those words into a story. And that one I was kind of like, fuck, I don't know how I'm going to pull this one off. Because this one I was like, yeah, I can't really make it super fun. Right when I saw Pocket CERN Accelerator, I was like, yeah, this is some fucked up shit. This is gonna fuck something up. This is gonna be bad. I already knew this story was gonna be a bad one. Taint and Pocket CERN Accelerator next to each other. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna end really bad. But there was some fun camping in there, so that was good. They got some camping in before they died, so that's kind of cool. So what's the moral of this story? Don't fuck around with pocket accelerators. Or well, yeah, pocket CERN accelerator, or even CERN for that matter. So I wonder if all those CERN guys got pickle dicks. Pickle weasels. Taint pickle weasels. It's like, so, I think I'm going to call this one like Pandora's Box or something. I think that's what this one's going to be called. Just because that is always kind of a problem with science. A lot of times they want to do something. They want to break through some barrier or boundary they haven't crossed before.
Inadvertently.
No. Yeah, inadvertently causing problems, but sometimes the best of reasoning ends up being fucked up. Look at the nuclear energy. That was supposed to be something that was going to provide, yeah, and they made these fucking bombs and shit out of it. But anyway, that's going to be the story for the Real-Time Storytime this week. I've been working on a story that I'm super excited about called The Three Rules. Three Little Rules. And that's going to be the very first short story that I'm going to put out. Once I get it done written, I'm going to get it over to Lyra to let her take a look at it, make sure that I got all my my edits in right. And then I think what I'll do is, even though it's going to end up being a book, I think I'm also going to do a reading on it, just because it's one of those things that when it's your own shit, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You don't have to worry about a publisher telling you what you can and can't do. So I think I'm going to do that, and that way people that enjoy the reading stuff, as the other short stories comes out, they will be able to check it out and either listen to it, or they can actually buy a copy of the book. And I'm going to make these things super cheap. They're probably going to be about $3 or $4 a pop. I gotta find out what these guys charge on shipping on something that's like $3 or $4 for like a little tiny book. Find out what that total cost is. My goal is, if I can, see, shipping is one of those things that actually ends up fucking up everything, because you start off with a really cool idea, and then shipping comes and fucks the whole idea up, because you're like, yeah, the book itself is only $3, but then shipping's $5. So you're like, fuck. So you end up with a fucking $8 book, and you're just like, whatever. It kind of fucks that whole concept up. Infinite Probability Drive and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Oh, infinite. Well, yeah, improbability drive. Yeah, it's funny because, the big fear that people were talking about with the CERN accelerator was the creating of black holes. And of course, people say black holes. If you create a black hole, then it destroys everything. I said, well, what if instead of a black hole, it creates a reality hole that just sucked the three guys in, and they got kind of popped off in alternate dimensions, and so they did it again. But since the one guy who had that black stuff that was happening to him was basically him disintegrating, basically. Like, he was still somewhat anchored into the first realm that they jumped from, and so when he pushed it again, since he was already anchored back, he ended up back where he was supposed to be, but the other two stuck on a different one, an alternate one, where an Aboriginal got sucked in and popped in to replace the third guy, Jamie. So, but the Aborigine had already, because that was his place, that was his timeline. He already knew about the oncoming meteor, and he was already sad. And so, since he's a shaman, he was probably already just kind of chanting and everything else. For him to, go from his indigenous location to the Everglades wasn't a big deal to him. He was kind of like, whatever, shit's fucking ending anyway. But so yeah, that's what we're doing on that one. The other stories, the 4 that I have picked I have selected, those are going to be rewritten. Those are going to happen after this short story. I want to get the short story done. Then I'm going to get those other rewrites done. And then if those come out as good as I think they will, then that's going to make up the first anthology, which is going to be called Origins. And, you guys are going to be in that book. Before the beginning of each of the stories, there's going to be a write-up, a synopsis, kind of a description of how the live show went, the date, the link to the video if they want to go and watch the original video, and then a link to the rewrite, and then a list of everybody who contributed keywords, and obviously what the keyword is and who the person is. Now, Garen had asked a question about headshots. Can you put like the graphic of like your profile as an example? The answer is yeah, you can. The problem is this thing doesn't print out photographic things super good. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. And I'm not sure if you guys are gonna be able to see this or not, but up on that top corner here is kind of a photographic type element, and it prints probably newspaper quality, I guess. So if that is what you guys would like to do, then you can let me know, because if not, if you don't want your photo in there, then what I'm going to do is whatever your icon is when I'm doing the actual anthology is what I'm going to grab from, unless it's really inappropriate. Like if somebody decides, hey, I'm going to put a booty in there, then if somebody puts a booty in there, then I'm going to just put a silhouette. That's it. So you guys decide what you can do. I'll let you know right before I grab those images and stuff like that, and then that way you guys can see that you're part of the story and everything else. The other thing that I'm going to do is, and this is just purely to cover my booty, right before I do the anthology and everything else, I'm going to do a stream like this where I'm going to say, if you opt to be in the book, like you want to be in it and everything else, then you just have to sign a disclaimer saying that you understand that you're being part of this, and that I can't compensate you guys, obviously, because I'm broke. Now if something ever pops off and things get really fucking huge and something else, yeah, I'm going to be, we're going to have some fun shit that happens. But if somebody tries to sue me later and say, well, you couldn't have got that story off without me dropping, ass kittens in there or something. You know what I mean? Then that's going to ruin it for all of us. So, I have to do a little disclaimer. I've had a couple of people tell me straight up, you got to make sure you put a disclaimer in that says people that are opting in keywords and stuff like that are, they're just doing it for the fun of it, and that they're not trying to come back later and sue you and all this other shit, say that they should get money for the books or whatever. And I'm like, fuck.
Taint is so important.
I know, Taint is instrumental to a story, you know what I'm saying? Cover that booty, Rob, towel or shorts. Yeah, I gotta cover my ass with some bulletproof shorts, you know what I'm saying? But it's just one of those things that I hate the fact that I even have to bring this up, but it is something that people have to take into consideration because, as I'm putting out and publishing and spending a lot of time doing this and everything else, if for some fucking weird reason the shit takes off and then suddenly money starts to materialize, then suddenly people start getting kind of funny and stuff like that. But so you will see a disclaimer probably starting next week at the beginning of the show that says something like, you agree that if you submit a word, it's only for fun. I would only ask for one thing. What's that? Just let me know. No thanks, Brian. Maybe Paul giving me knowledge. Let's see. Just being the book as a bookworm is amazing. Yeah, see, I like that too. I think it's fun, and it's a way for me just really to give thanks to you guys because, like I say in the very beginning, a copy of the book. Yeah, of course. Yeah, as we get going and stuff like that, as long as it doesn't suddenly become like huge cost prohibitive. Like right now, it's a relatively small group of people, so. Yeah, I don't mind getting books for some of you guys. If it gets to the point where the show gets super popular and there's hundreds of thousands of people and randomly people are throwing words out, obviously I won't be able to give every single person a copy of the book. But as we get going, the original crew, the people that have been down since the very, very, very beginning of the stuff here, I always look after you guys anyway. So that's like the original Jackalope crew, right? It's a pretty intimate small group anyway, so it shouldn't be a big deal. But yeah, so that's the game plan there. So the first anthology is called Origins, and then the anthologies after that are going to be, again, kind of like Twilight Zone. Some of those are just going to be random stories, and then some of those are going to be continuation. And then the idea is after, a year, 2 years of doing this, there'll be enough individual stories to make a different anthology that is like a collected stories of this, collected stories of this, collected stories of this. And that way, we have fun and stuff like that. And again, as we do these types of stories and stuff like that, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I think you guys will really enjoy it. I am really having a blast with this. This is one of the things that I'm actually having a lot of fun with. I started this short story last night, and I'm already 8,902 words into it. Second chapter, 25 pages, and it's coming like boom, like it's just flowing so easily. And that's the stuff that I really like, is when I sit down with a little story and it just takes off with a life of its own, and I'm loving this story. I'm thinking you guys are really gonna like this. There is a stream time page right now. If you go to realtimestorytime.com, that's where it's at. I love a book, but the post office will lose it for me. I know, right? Backwoods? What the fuck, man? That's really bugging me. Hopefully that shit will get to you the way it's supposed to, because...
send it back and then you have to resend it all over.
Yeah, but I don't know why. I paid good money for that with the tracking.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
It's really crazy that you can...
I know. Well, hopefully it'll get there. I mean, kind of like your thing. It took fucking forever for your shit to get here, but it finally got here, so... Anyway, we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's going to be it. I think this is just going to be the beginning of something really fun. I could see this thing really just... Like I said, I did realtimestorytime.com. I believe in it enough that I went and got the domain for that. I've got, shirts now. where on the back I actually have the youtube.com/Robert R. Ricks on it. I've got a hoodie. I've got a couple other things, and I really just plan on pushing it and having fun with it. And I think it's just one of those type of things that you come across accidentally, and then when you're doing it, you're like, man, this is really fun. Like, I'm really, really enjoying this. Like, I'm a little monotone today because actually I've been in just excruciating pain this whole episode. Like, feels like my stomach has somebody has kicked me, like a horse has kicked me right in the stomach. I was over in Smith's. I was over in Smith's, and I just had to drop one, and it was horrible. It was so fucking bad. Paula says, "Tell Irene I love the knife she picked out for me." So she likes the knife that you picked for her. She says, "Oh, she was happy about that. She's happy you like that." Talked to Steve last night. He's in the hospital. Oh, Stevie G is in the hospital? Fuck. Okay. Okay. Alright, well, send out some positive mojos to him and stuff like that. Call sign Dirty Tonto Brian. Oh, shit. Dog Soldiers Part 2 by Robert Ricks. So, I think we're going to have some fun with it. So, we've got, our take on Vampire Story, our take on werewolves. When you guys throw certain words out, you really make me have to stretch my mind. So that's what I really do appreciate with you guys. By that, having that interaction, it's fun because now I can actually sit there and accept the challenge. It's almost like doing, my friend said, "Oh, you're doing like a Mad Libs online, everybody's throwing words and you're trying to fit them into these things and actually make a funny story or a cohesive story." And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, so hopefully next week I won't have like a mule kick in my stomach and I'll be a little bit more animated and more fun. But oh man, I'm in pain right now. So my wife's just laughing at me. See, my wife, she's funny. She likes to laugh at me when I'm in pain, or I tell her
the whole story is funny. That's why.
The whole story of the shit in Smith's and everything. It's not that funny. It was horrible, actually. It was so bad. It was funny. I was walking with my wife, and I told her, "Man, my stomach really hurts." She's like, "You gotta go poop?" I go, maybe. If so, I'm just gonna tag you. I'm gonna tap you, and I'm not saying no words. Don't say anything. Just no. I have to go hit the bathroom. And she's like, "Okay." And so I made it halfway through the store, and then it felt like a boulder rolled down to the small of my stomach. Which is the opposite side of the small of your back. It's like the lower depths of your stomach. Like, oh my fuck. And a zombie love story. Yeah, I already got plans for Halloween for you guys. I plan on putting all of you guys in a Halloween story. Just know that already. So I was walking and all of a sudden I tapped her. I'm out, and she nodded like a fucking soldier trooper. She kept doing the shopping, and I beeline to the bathroom. And I got to the bathroom, and I got right to the toilet, and I made sure the door was locked. I doubled and triple checked the lock because it was one of these unisex bathrooms, and I was just so fearful I was going to drop a load, get up to wipe my ass, and have some lady walk in and see my danglies and shit, And so I fucking worked the door once, twice, 3 times. Good, it's locked. Sat down, and I dropped a fucking baby boulder out of me, and my stomach it's like one drop, and it just fucking wrecked me. I think I had to wreck Taint, but yeah, it wasn't fun. I had to wreck Taint. It was fucking horrible. So challenge $6 million man, Bionic Man style story. Yeah, we could try that. We could try that next week. Hopefully the words will be conducive to that. Some of these words today threw me for a loop. And I was kind of like, I don't know how I'm going to fit this in a fucking story. But the fact we had the little mini Halon collider there, the little CERN collider, I was like, well, fuck, I can make anything now because that bitch just wrecks reality. So anyway, that's why I was a little off today. And I fucked up probably 3 or 4 times because I was getting racked with spasms in my fucking stomach, and it was distracting like fuck. It felt like I had a midget down there just using the small of my stomach like a punching bag, like it was going like this, blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Rob dropping timber in the store, yeah. But it was like not even a timber. That's why I brought the meteor in the story. The flaming meteor, because of that. So there's a little insight for you. All right, Backwoods, later, brother. So anyway, that's going to be it for now, guys. We're going to go ahead and end everything out here. As always, I fucking appreciate you guys coming in, hanging out with me, and I will see you guys next week. So you guys be good, and let's try this new one out right here. I actually have a cool little exit, which goes like this. Bye-bye.